If you're Italian like me, summertime means Aperol time. I drink it with Red Bull. People say that it's disgusting, but it's fantastic, I promise you. There are a few messages that I would like to answer from you guys, but the truth is that I've been on the road for a very long time and I basically didn't have the time to do that. There is a message that I received that says, "Hi Fabio, I'm a policeman from Poland. This year I was at a conference in Wrocław because I love 3D, and after the inspiration talks, I think I quit my job to make 3D full-time job. I am interested in ArchViz and I want to ask you how is the market for making renderings, if I can start new adventure with my business." I think to answer this question, we'll have to go back to my studio. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fabio Palvelli and I'm a designer. Every week on my channel I share a little bit of my life on video, as well as tips and tricks on how to be a better designer. So if this is your first time here, please do consider subscribing. Now, I wanted to address the question of the guy that is thinking about quitting his day job to get into ArchViz, and I want to answer this question because I very often get emails just like this from guys that are just graduating and want to start directly with their own visualization company, or maybe architects which have done images and they're thinking about switching to architectural visualization. But eventually the reason why I want to answer this message specifically, it's because it's a little bit more peculiar, and I feel that there are a couple of suggestions that I can give to this person in order to avoid making certain mistakes, if you like. Now, I'm going to try and be as honest as I can, and I don't want you guys to think that I don't want you to be happy by telling you not to jump into the ArchViz field, or I don't want you to think that the industry is bad. The industry is actually really good if you know how to really do your job and if you have the skills needed to position yourself in the right place within the industry. But there are many things that I think you and anyone who is thinking to get started in the business of making images should eventually understand. Now, first of all, I'm not really aware of your background, if you have done this job already in the past, and I don't really know why you want to quit your police job to get into ArchViz. Since, as I said, I get emails just like this all the time, I'm just going to assume that you are a total beginner and have no idea about this industry. Any job requires a certain level of training and experience. One of the biggest mistakes that people do going in the ArchViz industry is that they wildly underestimate the effort and the amount of experience that it's needed to make a difference as an ArchViz artist. And many just start working in the ArchViz industry because they see it as a shortcut to quick money, if that makes any sense. Or in other cases, they see it as a way to be free and creative in their own terms. And whilst this might be true for a very few people, the reality is that most of those who just try their hand at doing this job, they struggle for a very long time, and then they simply quit or fail because they never really understand how to manage their business. There is an infinite row of things that I could mention, but we'll leave it to that for now. I'm guessing you had to make a training to become a police officer, right? How long did that take you? Why do you think that making ArchViz images for a client doesn't require at least the same amount of training? What makes you think that you can figure this out along the way without getting any valuable experience first? You should really ask yourself this question. You see, I have observed over the years that the majority of those who went to have a successful career in the field of ArchViz, they started to become established with a firm after about 5 to 6 years of doing this job. Most of them, they worked in other places before opening their firms. Others had to really suffer because they had no experience and they started to zero, charging very low fees in the beginning, working on terrible projects with terrible clients, and that was just for them to get the foot through the door. And nowadays, when I hear people telling me that they just want to start without any valuable experience first, it looks to me like a lot more people fail than succeed because the competition is getting harder and harder. Also, and this is probably the most important thing to consider, you should go into this business because you know that you can really help your clients the way other artists can't. That should be the base upon which you build your professional persona. Don't you agree? If this isn't your priority, I would not trust myself going on to open my own firm. At this point, you might also say, well, you know, my way of doing things, I think it's innovative, and don't get me wrong, this is great. But again, if this is not something that can help your clients in any way, you can't use it as an edge over your competitors. So you will resort to having to lower your fees and have to put up with clients and clients' behavior that might push you to hate this industry instead of loving it. And does this sound like a good idea to you? There is also the fact that in your case, you already have a job. Does it make sense for you to quit this job to try something that you have never tried before? How about you keep your day job, but try to build your career as an artist at the same time? You know, on the weekends, at night, when you go on a holiday. If you really love it that much, then this should not be a problem for you. You know Bertrand Benoit? You ever heard of him? He's probably the best example that I can give you. He's an artist, he makes outstanding 3D stuff, but the guy doesn't do it as his full-time job. He's passionate about the art, but as a day job he works at the Wall Street Journal in Germany. I think he's an editor or something. I read some of the articles that he wrote, and the guy is for sure a genius. He probably makes more money selling his assets online than the average artist working full-time in a studio, because the guy is really, really talented. Now, this is another way that you can consider looking at the profession. The important thing is that whatever decision you decide to make, you should use your brain more than you use your heart, at least in the very beginning of your career. Because you see, follow your heart and follow your dream is the kind of crap that pushes people to make the least sound decisions for their lives, and it just helps creating confusion among people. Instead, my suggestion to you is be very practical, be very analytical. Treat the ArchViz job with the same respect that you would treat any other profession. If you want to do it, then invest 5 to 6 years working for someone really, really good. Learn as much as you can, try to get involved as much as you can, try to understand how it is that you can convert your art into value for your clients, and then you can start thinking or considering whether or not you are in the position to start your own business. Patience is a great skill to have, so please be patient, work really hard, work really smart, and give it time, and you will see how many magical things that will give you. I feel like in the last few months, I've been repeating myself like a broken record, but I don't know. I just hope that you find this advice helpful. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.